behind, on the south side of the Vittorio area, is a square, which is basically, you go into the square from the Palatine side, and in front of you is a big building, and it's called, what is it called? Capitolini Campidiglio, and it's basically the residence of the mayor of Rome. Either side of that, forming the other two sides of the square, are part of the museums of Rome. I didn't bother with them because you had to pay to enter, and they were just museums, and I'm just not really a museum kind of person. But I did spend quite a bit of time there because there was obviously something going on. I think the mayor was Jew, and there had been something that a group of people were not happy about, some sort of union, and the square began to fill with quite a noisy protest group. So I stayed to watch that for a little bit, maybe half an hour, but the mayor still hadn't appeared, so I left. But I do think they were waiting for something to happen. There was certainly a lot of armed sort of police around. So I left the Capitolini, and I ventured into the area which I had got lost in the night before, and I visited the Church of the Gesù, Santa Maria sopra Minerva, which is huge, absolutely huge, and then ended up at the Pantheon just before it went dark, which was quite nice. And then I walked around that area and I looked at Santa Ignazio and the column of Marcus Aurelio, which again is in a little square. I looked at Santa Maria Maddalena in Campo Marzio, Santa Maria in Aquario, Santa Agostino, San Luigi dei Franceschi. It was going dark by the time I reached that church, and that's a French church, that. And as I was going in, they were doing a mass. I think that's the only reason why that church was open after it had gone dark. You know, I would say about 8 out of 10 churches are open in the city. They're open all the way through the day when it's light. But they do shut at night when it goes dark, so about 6-ish, 5, 6-ish, unless they are doing a liturgical event. They're all free, and they're all, you know, some of them are huge, some of them are small, but you can walk around all of them, and they all have their own distinctive little things. One of the churches that I visited, for example, had a thing about glass chandeliers, and there were glass chandeliers at different heights all the way across the East End. Another one had a thing about, I can't remember what it had a thing about, but they all had something that was very sort of unique to them. So then I ended up in Piazza Navona for the first time as it went dark. Piazza Navona is absolutely huge, and it's a place that I frequented quite often after that. When it went dark, for the next 2 days after this one, I followed a routine of spending an hour at the Pantheon as it went dark, and then an hour at the Piazza Navona after dark, before walking all the way back. Now the route back was long, but it was following a few Roman roads. You follow the Corso Vita Emmanuel, which runs basically all the way from the river Tiber, opposite the Vatican on the other bank, and it runs all the way from there to the Vittorio, and it runs in front of the Vittorio, and then it changes name, but it's the same road, and it changes the name to Plebiscito Novembra, the November plebs, don't ask me why, and that sort of wiggles around a bit, passes in front of the Imperial Forum Museum before reaching a roundabout called the Magnopolis, that's the one. And then you have to, you come out of the main road area and you go down a straight road, but it's very, very tight, and it goes all the way directly from Magnopolis all the way to St Mary Major, comes out right in front of St Mary Major. And then you take the next road, and I don't know what that road's called actually. What is that road called? Oh, it is Via Cava. Okay. You take the Via Cava road then from the front of Santa Maria Maggiore, and that goes all the way to Roma Termini. And then from there it's sort of across the a square, and I'm almost at my hotel. And that's the route I used to take. It used to take me about an hour, to walk all that. So I wasn't rushing, so that's the route I would always take. Once I came back to the hotel, I would stop at Roma Termini for tea, and have a McDonald's there, so that I could make sure that I'd eaten something. During the day I survived on Coke and paninis, which were lovely, and I used to have a meat and cheese panini if I could. Those were my favourite, and they heat them up for you and you carry them around in a little sort of paper bag sort of thing. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I did want to make sure that I had something cooked, so it used to, after that walk I used to stop at Roma Termini and have a McDonald's. Once I got back to the hotel, I would sort of relax here in with the windows wide open, like they are now basically, and I would always start by especially washing my feet in the bidet, and that is because even if I had a shower later on at night, the one thing that I had to do was cool down my feet and my ankles, because they used to not swell, but they got really quite itchy and red, and still itchy and red now in case you wonder what I'm itching. I think I've been bitten several times by something. I don't think you can get. I don't think you can catch anything horrible from mosquitoes in Italy, but I'm sure that occasionally I've had something that's dropped into my trousers, not being able to escape, and it's bitten me several times. So I used to check the vending machines then, and they always used to have Coke in it. That's where I got this from. But they also used to have, I'll just try and find it for you actually, because I'm sure it's still in here. Oh yes. They used to have these. This is San Benedetto peach tea in a can. It's basically peach juice mixed with water, spring water. It's not sparkling, but it's absolutely fantastic, and they do it in lemon tea as well. So I used to gorge myself on that in the evening, and I used to sit here, and then day 3 happened.